Hello everybody, my name is Jordan Littlemore and I did my science fair project on homemade fly traps. I chose this topic because flies are a common household pest, especially in your kitchen, trash areas, and outdoor spaces. Flies are important to study because they don't just bother people, they also spread diseases and bacteria when they land on food, surfaces, or even people. Many people use fly traps or sprays that cost money or contain multiple chemicals. So I wanted to see if there was a simple, inexpensive, homemade way to trap and reduce flies using ingredients people already have in their home. So the question that I asked for my experiment was which bait works best for homemade fly traps. And the purpose of the experiment was to find out what bait, honey, syrup, applesauce, or vinegar, attracts the most flies so I can determine the most effective and cost-effective homemade fly trap. The hypothesis for my experiment was that I predicted that applesauce would trap the most flies because the flies are attracted to fruity smells. The research behind flies that I did were that flies multiply quickly and spread diseases and bacteria. They're also attracted to food smells, moisture, and sweet and rotting foods. Traps are one way that people do to reduce fly populations. The materials I used for my experiment were 4 plastic water bottles, scissors to cut the plastic water bottles in half and make a funnel, painter's tape and markers to mark the labels for the bottles, 1 tablespoon of each honey, syrup, applesauce, and vinegar, and a measuring spoon and a poster board. So for my independent variables for my experiment was the type of bait used, 1 tablespoon of honey, applesauce, vinegar, and syrup. And then my dependent variables were the number of flies caught in 24 hours. My controlled variables are the same bottle trap design, same amount of bait. They were all going to be outside, all at the same time of day, 8 a.m., and all left outside for 24 hours observation. The procedure that I did for these experiment is I took 4 water bottles and I emptied them out, and then I cut off the top and I turned it upside down to make it a funnel shape. I put 1 tablespoon of each bait, honey, syrup, applesauce, and vinegar in each. I took measuring tape and labeled it and taped the bottles. And I placed them all outside for 24 hours. After 24 hours, I recorded how many flies were caught, and I repeated it 3 times. So for my first experiment, I put the bottles outside by my mini trash can. This is an area that's next to my outdoor kitchen that I generally see flies. So for my first experiment, I checked it throughout the day. I didn't see any flies were caught. I left it overnight. There was no flies caught, but I did notice that there were a lot of ants in my honey, applesauce, and syrup bottles. I wasn't sure if the opening of the bottles were too big or if there was just no flies. It was kind of a windy day. So for my second experiment, I took aluminum foil and I put it over the bottle tops and I poked a hole in them. And then I changed the location of my experiment to my outdoor big trash cans. I let that for 24 hours, and after the 24 hours, I did not have any flies. So then my third experiment, I did the same thing, but I put my bottles on top of my trash can. In all 3 of my experiments, I did not catch any flies, but I did have ants in the honey, syrup, and applesauce. So the results were no flies were caught in any of the 3 trials. Ants were attracted to honey, syrup, and applesauce. No insects were in the vinegar. They didn't like the vinegar. So for a conclusion, my hypothesis was not supported. Applesauce did not attract the most flies. No bait used in the project successfully trapped flies. In the future, I would use different trap designs, location, time of the year, or bait types that might be needed to catch flies in future experiments. After completing this experiment, I did look up and research flies and the time of the year that usually you see more of them. And I did not know that flies have a season. Um, so actually, it just ended fly season, so that's why I really didn't see any. So next time in the future, I would use it in their season.